Hello, hello. I'm super excited to be with all you guys today. I'm very excited to talk about this. This is amazing what I have been thinking to do. And I have been working in business since I know myself. And something that I would like to share with you guys is that when we talk about businesses, we need to talk about ourselves. And the thing is that that is the first sale ourselves, who we are. How do we introduce ourselves? So, hi, how are you? My name is Rosalina Esquilin, and I'm super excited to bring this information to you guys. And today, I want to tell you is how we can empower every business without forgetting that we are selling. How can we maximize every kind of transactions that we do, every time of connections that we do or we have, and maximize it? The thing is that sometimes we think that we had to go directly to sale, and we don't like that word. And there's many people that they do not like the word to be sale. Nobody like to be sale. So I was writing down this morning because I was super excited with this. And I find out that people doesn't like to be sold, but you need to solve a problem. That's by me, by Rosalina. So the idea of this is how can you maximize those 5 seconds that you have to introduce yourself to find the connection with that client. And we cannot talk about business without talking about sales. And sometimes that word sales, it had been so much used that we forgot exactly what it's sales. And sales is not less than a relationship. You are creating a relationship with somebody else. How good are you in a relationship? And that is when you can create. And the way that I see it as well is something that is a relationship is super fast because it's just a transaction. It can take a month, it can take 24 hours, it can take 5 minutes. But it's a relationship that is fast, but it could last forever. How can you make this kind of relationship to be forever? How can you maximize that? And I cannot stress more that you need to remember that this connection that we are creating with this prospect, that at the end is going to be our client, is a relationship. And I need you to go to the way that you can drop the defense wall. When you know who you are, when you present the product that you are representing, that is the second part of that commitment or that business. The first part is you. When you were hired in the company that you're representing that product, or if you're the CEO or you're the sales consultant, even you are the person that are working on the retail store, you are the image of that company. And that's something that we always has to remember because you are the person that create that relationship, that one-on-one with that client, that possible relationship that it will last forever. I don't know if you guys has had this experience, but my experience, I has been start selling things ever. And I used to sell perfume like everybody does sometimes and during the holidays. But I do not like to go and spray everyone with the fragrance, right? I just try to bring what was the component, what was the the flowers that it was into that fragrance. What was the components? I want people to know what they were using. Sometimes people know what kind of product is work for their own body. Okay, and the perfumes has that chemicals. If you have some chemicals, you need to know exactly what are the components that are going to match with you. Okay, that will help you that your that fragrance can last forever. So this is something that you need to know firsthand. You need to know your product. You need to love your product, because when you're representing this product, when you're talking about the product is the second part. The product is the end of you, because you are the connection. You are the person that sells. You are the person that make that first impression. That's why we have like the 5 second rules. How do you introduce yourself? How is your etiquette? How can you maximize that experience with someone that is looking for something special? You are the responsible. And it's so funny because when I was looking for how can I give my experience in businesses, I have been noticed that this is something very normal that happens. People do not know what is the main key on this. And when you start looking at this as a relationship, like a dating process, you're dating with this person. So when you know that you're dating with this person, you will have the opportunity to try to be as much sweet, right? And you will be careful using your words. You will be careful using your manners. You will be careful using your body language. There's so many components that can damage your transaction and you don't even know why. Years of experience and working right now with real estate agents, and also in my coaching group, in when I related with people talking about sales or businesses or women try to achieve the biggest momentum in their lives, I have been noticed that there are key elements that people have forgot about it. For example, if you are dating, if you're going back to that process, you're going back with those first days or that first meet, you need to remember that how did you behave? Why? Because you try to connect with that person. You try to be um, very polite. You're trying to be in agreement pretty much with everything, right? Because we don't want to create a this bad illusion of who we are. The thing is that when you're in that dating process, you are transforming yourself into somebody else to try to catch somebody else's attention, right? You want to be there. You want to synchronize that momentum between both of you. So it's the same in business. Sometimes we forgot that this is a relationship that is super fast and can last forever. Things that I have been remembered is your manners and your etiquette, right? Because your manners let people know so much about you. For example, Mr., Mrs., Miss, Madam, Sir. It's weird to hear those kind of respect, right? It is weird to hear someone says, "Hi, sir, how are you? Hey, madam, thank you so much." People look at you weird. Why? Because we have been lost that momentum of showing how polite, how polished, how professional we are. We're trying to do businesses forgetting giving respect, authority, power, and control to this possible client because they are not client until they sign a document with us and they get on a commitment with us. At the moment, they are just up. They are just a prospector. And when you are having that kind of thing in thinking, you can put yourself to slow down your process in that dating process. If you take your time to think, how can I go and connect with this person? You will take your time in your presentations. Sometimes we have this agenda, I have all the agenda in the world, and I have this, everything. And every hour I have a connection with someone, I have a meeting with someone, I have a training or I have something to do. You have to be careful. When you are taking time to talk with your client or your prospect will take to be a client at the end is the sale to be done. That's the last part. At the beginning, you're selling yourself. How do you show up for that meeting? How do you represent yourself? How do you communicate? What is your etiquette? You know that when you're writing, even in a text message, you let them know who you are. And the thing is that I have been here so many of my agents in real estate that they says, you know what? I have this client super interested in purchasing this property. And when I call them back, they do not answer the phone or they are MIA, right? So, and I ask, what happened? How do you introduce yourself? How much information and how many questions you did? What was the questions that you make? What did you ask for? And this is the funny thing. The thing is that I say funny because it's a behavior that is done all the time. It's repeatable. And I don't know why people repeat this same behavior because they are not the same person. But the first thing that they start asking is, how much money do you have to put down? Who asked that in the first date? No one. You're not going to the person that you're just meeting and says, how much money do you have in your bank account, in your investments, in your 401k and retirement, and I don't know. Let me see your budget. That's not a questions that you do. That's not the questions that you ask. So when you're trying to create a business, your questions are the main factor on this relationship. I remember that when I was going into business, it's not because I started to sell, I was in a cashier. And when you're a cashier, you know that they have, oh, you have four for $1. And the person had just two products. And you said, hey, you have four for $1, it's 25 cents, and then you're gonna be saving, blah, 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 blah. I'm selling. I'm selling my services. I'm selling my knowledge and I saving their money. I'm creating a relationship right there. And then this is one experience. And we think so loose, so easy. Every relationship, and we don't notice what we're doing. Another thing is that we are talking about. I used to sell in champ sport, and I love to be there. I love the relationship with the client. I love because they're coming to purchase, right? And one of the things that I found out is that if you don't have the size in a woman's size, you can go to youngest and sell to a woman or to the boys or men to sell a woman. Or from youth, the same shoes that is very neutral can sell to younger kid, maybe the woman size. And when I know that technique, I use it in my advantage. I always try. There was not much time for us to be in the shoes section because there were some other super amazing guys doing the sales. But every time that I step in, I try to use their techniques and I maximizes my sales. Sales, sometimes you just have to shadow with somebody else. And it's super easy to do that because when you see someone else doing it, what you have to do is duplicate it, but put your own technique, your exquisite process, your touches, your personalization. When that things happen, you can connect and you can duplicate, triplicate. You can go over the roof doing sales. So every time that I have been working in sales, and if you notice, every time that you're doing businesses, when you're going through the trainings and you have to know the product and you're going to this trainings area, you need to shadow somebody else. They just tell you how to do the sales. Okay, I did this. This is my way to do it. This is the way that I prepare my agenda. I call this many people. I set all the appointments and I show myself. Perfect. That's the strategy. That's the basics to do that. But what happened on the other side is how you prepare yourself to magnetize that client, to get the attention of the client. And this is something that is very old technique. It doesn't need to change because it's the same thing. It's creating a relationship. When you're creating a relationship, then you can move forward. You can find a way to know how good are you in dating. This is a very funny question because if you pay attention, if you listen correctly, you will find out that every prospect or every client will tell you exactly what do they need, and you don't need to do anything else. They give it to you, the questions to be asked, and they give it to you the answers that you need to prepare whatever you would like to do. For example, if you listen well, listening, you can find all the turmoil that they have been past or going through today, yesterday, or what is the one that is making the decision for to date. The other day, I have this meeting with one of my agents, and we're visiting this lady that I know that much, but I know that she divorced. So for me, the divorce was very recent because we're trying to sell the house, right? But when I get into the house and I saw the house is an amazing community, it's a very desirable place, it's a multi-million dollar houses. I get there and when I met her, I asked the questions. I introduced myself. I was as much polite as possible. And then I start asking questions. And I says, my apologies for the question that I'm going to ask you. But I would like to know a little bit more why you need to sell or why would you like to sell. And then she told me that it was a divorce. And I saw her face and I saw her grieving. She was still sad. I saw that she was not there. Okay? She's losing her dream home. How I know it's her dream home? Because I asked the question, this house, did you purchase or you build it? She says, I built it. Okay, I know that her love for that house is priceless. Now I'm getting more information from her. I'm making rapport. I'm having a conversation. I letting her to guide me through what does she needs. The only way that I can get that information is just paying attention and asking the correct questions. That's the only way I can do that. So, when we are asking questions and they give me information, now I have more questions to do or the questions to make. For example, I told her, why you need to sell now? And how long was the divorce? When she says the divorce was 10 years ago, my jaw drop. I was like, oh my God, it's 10 years past. This is very recent for her. I can feel it. And then she says, I'm very worried that the payments that the person has to be making, they're not going anymore through. And then I can lose the house or I don't have a place to live. And I says, why are you worried now after 10 years and no before? And it was so funny because when she's telling me this, she says, I don't know. And this is another video. But I notice it that she needs to heal so much. And maybe the best way for her to heal is being removed from the house. I asked her, what would you like to do? Would you like to get a new home smaller than this one or as this one? And her brother was there. And I said funny, but it was interested because he was answering the question. And I had to tell him, hey, hold on, let me just asking her. Because I know that we have a family members, we have accountants, acquaintance that they would like to help us. But at that moment, we don't need help. We just need to be listened. And I will tell you why I'm going through the whole thing to tell you for the sales. Because when I let her to tell me, and I told the brother, can you allow me just one question? Yeah, I'd ask her and I direct myself to her. And I had the question to her, what would you like to do? Would you like to have a smaller home or you want a house like that? And she was like, and I says, now, in seconds, answer. You want the same house? You want something different? She says, I want the same. Okay, let's go and get the same. Why are you stopping yourself to get the same? I don't know. And those I don't knows allow me to see that her self-esteem, her her child, her woman side is so hurt that she cannot see the future. That's why she had been sucking herself for 10 years in the same situation. But I'm doing a sale. I'm selling her house. I'm selling myself. I feel like that I am the person can help her to get whatever she's looking for the house and start all over again. I need to move her to start all over again. But she sees the family telling her everything that what does she needs to do it. She doesn't need that. She needs someone to put her, hey, you had to wake up. The time out there is running. You need to run for your time. You're wasting 10 years. And what happened with the other person? It had been made their life for 10 years, even more. Let me tell you something. This amazing lady create a multi-million dollar business. And when I ask her, why are you waiting to recreate the business again? She says, I don't remember. I don't know how to do it. Everything had been changed so much. And you know what? The thing that never changed is the quality of you talking with a client, to a prospect. When you represent yourself and you know who you are and you can represent your product, that's a sale done. That's a business growing. When we start putting away all these questions that doesn't have any answers, we can multiply. We can go crazy in sales. I have another experience. My personal experience was I used to sell cars in Puerto Rico and also insurance. And I will tell you why these two are related. When people are going to get cars, They are looking for payments. They are looking for colors and style, right? And when I had this situation in Puerto Rico, I noticed that many of the agents that it was there previous me, I'm the rookie one, right? And the funny thing is that the way that I started, I want to go through sales directly because it's when you know this is what you want to do. But they brought me to the group as the greeter. I was the person that, hi, welcome to blah 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 blah. Please look around, tell me exactly what's the car that you're looking for, and then I show the car. I introduce the product. I need to have a product knowledge that make that sell. And then I noticed that I prepared the client. I ask the correct questions. I get all the information that the sales consultant needs. When I pass the clients to them, what happened? If I know the correct questions, I know how much they were looking for, put it down. How much I know that how much they were looking for a monthly payment, the color, the style of the car, and I already had that in the lot. I just had to move it to the delivery area. What the only thing that they had to do is to put those numbers together. But I did the whole work. And then I says, okay, so if I want to be the best of the best, and I know who was the best of the best, it was this guy. He was sitting at the end of the office, and he has this huge office. And I says, I gotta beat this guy. I like the challenge. And you know what is the difference? I came with the hungry. He was already sitting over there thinking that he was the best because every single month he was the top of the sales group. And I put myself very consciously. I learned every single stuff of the car. And I just showed the car like it was this Rolls Royce. And I was selling Toyotas. But I has to do my best. First, I need to show everyone that I have the knowledge. Second, you know who coming to purchase cars, right? Guys. And I need to tell them, hey, I know exactly what you're looking for. There's in the cars, they have something that they call it the I think it's RAM, is to know how much they can pull from another car just in case they want to pull like another car, or they have a camper that they want to pull in their car. I need to the torque is the torque. How much torque has that truck or that car that they will be allowed to do that. And the funny thing is that I put myself completely different as somebody, everybody else. I prepare myself. I learned the whole thing. And how do I show myself? I have my high heels. Even I have to walk all the way to the bottom side to get the car, to open the car, to remove the car, to bring it in this area, maybe take the car to the watch area. Sometimes Saturdays, I have to wash the car because we used to sell cars pretty much at 7, 8, 9 o'clock, and the cars need to leave it clean. I have my shoes, my makeup, my perfume, and I always was different because I always pay attention to my clients. I always ask the correct questions. When I go into the lender to get the numbers, I know exactly what they're looking for. And I says, if you get this number with the full price, with the full insurance, this deal is done. And you know what? I sold 15 cars my first month, and I was the rookie of the month. And it was what an amazing surprise. That guy was not able to sell 15 cars. He was selling 12, and he wasn't selling the full price. But I know my product, and I believe in my product, and I know how to project myself. That was selling cars. But what happened when you're selling insurance? Insurance, and the way that I prefer that was selling insurance, it was this life insurance, no health insurance, the life insurance. That is more complicated because the way that they teach you to do this is what would you like to be safe for your family when you are not here? don't want anyone to be saving for anything because now you're make me to be dying. I don't want to die. So I always tell myself, how can I present a product that going to make my family safe when I am not here, but I don't want to die. I don't want to even think about it. And I start putting myself because in all, if you guys notice, every time that you're talking about a business, there's a training. In that training, you're shadowing someone else. When I was selling cars, I was looking for everyone that was the top of the sellers. That was my main point. I was all the way there. And I hear what they said and I said, that's not the correct way maybe to say it. Maybe I can find another way to see it, to do it. So I personalize that. I make my own. I bring my own personal touch. When I present myself, it was me. I am the person to make that sale. That sale was never the car. It was me. The way that I behave, the way that I represent myself, the way that I think about the client. Oh my gosh, this is an amazing opportunity for you guys to have a new car. Would you like to go in? You want to test drive? Come and see the car, touch the car, smell the new car. You have to make them to to feel, to smell, to touch, to think. Everything is all your five senses can be there, and you had to provoke that. And people forgot about this. That's what I said. You have to know how to date. You know how to have that dating process. You need to know how to listen and ask the correct questions. When I was listening, the person that it was doing the insurance, the life insurance, it was, oh, how much would you like to have your family when you're not here anymore? And I was listening and I was putting myself in the client, right? Because at this time, we have to call this person, make an arrangement to see them at home, their business person, the person to work from home, their doctors, they're important people. But you're telling them when you're not here, how you want your family be taken care of. Because, oh, and the main thing is, oh, because you don't want them to suffer or missing anything that you have been provided for so long. Come on. It's not even worse just like thinking that they had to take care of this process and you remembering all that stuff at the moment to make the decision. And I try to think, what would be the best way to represent that doesn't hurt their feelings or that do not bring uncertainty to them. And I start thinking, how can I bring an insurance to people that they feel something appealing for them and they're willing to get connected and have it and do it. So I start asking the question and I says, hey, what do you think if you can invest for your future in 401k, AOA, in your investments, and you can do investment without any risk, medium risk, or full risk? Oh, really? How can I do that? Okay, we have this program that will help you. If you pay monthly, we can invest for you and we can duplicate or triplicate your money. And the extra benefits are then the life insurance. It was other one like it was like oh my gosh, it was, oh, I don't remember the name, but it was about the something about sickness that it was covered like a cancer and things like that. So When I present him the second area that was the main purpose, I was bring everything about how you invest in the future for you and your family. And you put that money aside to help them in the future because it's your family future. If something happens to you today, how they will cover the monthly expenses? They will have this insurance, they will have this money in this investment and in this and in this and in this and in this and in this. Because the question will come as soon as I start presenting everything. But the first thing that I presented it was how can I make you money saving for the future? And after that, what will be covered that? I used to sell $4,000 monthly. That was what I pocket and just do those. It was the canvassing. We had to go doors to doors with the businesses and start talking with the business guys, women, and things like that, and bring that peace of mind without telling them, "Hey, if you're not here, you're dead. This is what is going to happen, anyways. This is what you're going to be saving your family." No, how I can maximize your money that right now you're just investing in this business. I can put it over here to make money, but the benefits that you're going to have because of this is this and this and this and this. Okay? How can you transform a business, a product that the people feel that they need it? And you just do that listening and knowing your product. Another thing is that when you are asking questions, I have been seeing this with my agents, in many people in sales, even when I go into the dealerships and things like that, they says, this car is what you need. No, that's not the car that I want, that I need. It's the car that I want. I don't need it. I want it. Because when you're going to the dealership, you want to get the car no matter what. And the funny thing is that you're going to get the car, you ask for the monthly payment, and then they sell it to you in the financial, when you sit with the financial person or the one finishing your contract, they start selling to you services. Oh, you can have the change oils or the tire fix or this and this. Those add-ons changing already your monthly payment. But you're so excited because you have the car that you want, know what you needed. And that's the difference. What if you know what people want or your clients want or your prospect want, then the moment of your business is amazing. You have find the way to go through the whole thing. Another thing is, for me in real estate, the many of my agents says, oh, you do not qualify. And I will try all my life to tell the agents, why are you saying that people do not qualify? You don't know. And the funny thing is that the bank has so many, the lender has so many opportunities. And you know what happened? Clients, prospect, do not give it to you all the information. Sometimes they're talking to you, but not necessarily they are the decision makers. They have somebody else that are the decision makers. And sometimes they are the one that they are the decision maker, but they have a counterpart. They have somebody else that can help them in the process and make this possible. I have been seeing, but the agents do not ask the correct questions. Why? Because sometimes you are just focusing yourself in the final, in the commission, in the sale. And I'm telling you right now, if you're a businesswoman and you're trying to put your skills to go out and make gold, you are the main part. You are the one that will change the whole thing. How you present yourself, how do you have your hair, your makeup, your perfume, your shoes, your etiquette. When you introduce yourself, hi, good afternoon. Thank you for giving me the opportunity to talk to you. It's been a pleasure meeting you finally. How's your family? Ask the correct questions. I cannot address more. Sometimes these people are coming for referrals. They are referring to you, and now social media is super easy to know who these people are. You can know how many kids they have, I'm sorry. You can know how many dogs they have, if they are pet lover, they have hobbies that they do. Get a research. I'm trying to find out the way that people really notice and find the opportunities to take the time. I used to sell houses. Okay, I told you guys I sell house. I'm sorry, I love to sell. So I have been sell in retail stores, insurance, cars, real estate, and now with my husband, we're building houses. Okay, so when I see people coming to the showroom in a new construction, I used to work with Ken Hofanarian Homes. I got 2 months rookie of the year. I'm sorry, I got the rookie of the year and those and 2 months the top seller in my first year. And they just give it to you a few hints how to introduce yourself or break that ice or just drop the wall, right? This wall that you don't see, that I don't want to be sold, but I need a house. I'm here because I need it. But they start giving to you some kind of, oh, when you see a woman going inside of the motorhome, complement her, the shoes, the blouse, the hair, the makeup, whatever, right? So try to make connection, make the rapport. That's what I'm telling you to do. And we forgot the basics. We want to go just right there to make the sale. You cannot do that. You cannot lose the opportunity to make contact with the person, because I'm telling you since the beginning, is a relationship that is fast, that can last forever. Let me just bring it that. Oh, I need to tell you this. Yesterday, I was with this agent, and these things happen so much. I was with this agent, and this agent told me that, okay, they're parting. Let me just get the information straight, because I'm super excited to tell you this, because it happens. They tell me, and I need to let it go because it happens so much. When you're working in business, you're always asking the universe, please give me clients. I want the phone to be light up, calling me everyone. I need calls. I need people. I need asking for my product. I need contracts. I need sales. This is what we ask for because we're working in sales. The thing is that these two, this agent and this amazing investor, they get together. They connect each other, and this agent sold him his house that he's living right now, his primary residency. But he was interested to get in another house. So he reached out the agent, and he called the agent around 4 o'clock one afternoon. They say, hey, Jose, I'm sorry. No, I say the name. Hey, Jose, I need you to come over here and help me out with this property. And the agent told me, because he was telling me that, he says that he looked at the watch and he says, oh, it's 4 o'clock. It's too late. Oh, I will see you Monday or Tuesday. The client that now is his partner says, that's okay, no problem. He hung up the phone and he called another realtor. And I think that was on a Wednesday. He purchased the same day. He put a contract in a cash deal that closed in 7 days. The compensation was 5 figures. And my agent and another agent get the whole sign money, right? Why? I was laughing so much yesterday because I told my agent, how many times have you been asking the universe, God, to give it to you a sale? just to fall in your lap because you need it. He called you, and now he was your client, and you says no, you can't wait until Monday or Tuesday. How much money did you lose? And he told me the amount of money that it was. I cannot say publicly. I'm sorry. It's because of the real estate. We are not allowed to say percentages of the compensations or the amount of the compensations, okay? Because that would be a monopoly thing that we cannot talk about that. Anyways, the thing is that I told the investor, hey, I'm very glad that you did that, that you get somebody else and you did not wait for him. Why? Because that's the only way that that agent will have a wake-up call, because they need to stop trying to get clients and do not giving the service. If you're a real estate agent, you're 24/7. Real estate do not stop. The only days that they close is New Year and Christmas. And I think that not even, it's just half day, Good Friday. That's how is the market in the real estate. When we had COVID here in Florida, we will call essential businesses. So what that meant was that we can use all the protective gear, we can use alcohol, and we can go to sell houses. My office triple sales that year. I have an agent that makes $64,000 in compensations plus bonuses in the transaction that he closed in 1 month. $64,000. You know what is that? That is a full time here in Florida in a month. I want to tell you, I cannot address more. If you take the time to listen, if you take the time to ask the correct questions, what do you need? How can I help you? Why or what is the reason that you're making this decision right now? What do you need? Maybe you are in corporate, and that's something else that I want to address with you guys and tell you too. This agent lost that compensation, right? Now they're partners and they laugh together about that. I laughed yesterday and I told my agent, you need to stop to do that. If someone calls you, you pick up the phone and you go and do your service, because that person needs you in that moment. It doesn't matter when the closing will be. He needs someone responsible and he was thinking about you. Okay, so those kind of stuff are the things that you need to pay attention. Things are going to happen, but while we're thinking of, oh my gosh, when the opportunity comes and the opportunity is just in front of you and you don't see it, you're gonna lose them. That was I was working in corporate, and I used to work in a bank, and this was to make cold callings and refinance some loans that it was about to expire. So they give it to you, this bunch of clients that you just have to call them, right? I had to call this client from air. They give it to you the script, and you had to create the need for them to refinance a loan that is about to be paid off. But in my office, in my building, they give it to you your offices or your space based off your production. So there was this amazing, oh my gosh, that woman was so elegant, so perfect, so well speech. She walks like so majestic. It was so much magic in that lady that you get hypnotized for her. It was like oh my God, I want to do what she's doing. So because I was the newest one, I just asked her, hey, do you allow me to hear you, listening to you when you're making the phone calls? I have a bunch of training. I have a training how to use the computer, how to address myself, how to get ready in the morning, how many calls I had to do. But something that I noticed that I was lacking was in something that really keep me motivated to do this every single day. So some companies prepare you to break records, but they do not fit you in your intellectual and your emotional aspect to continue improving yourself. It was something that you had to do it yourself. Okay. So now it's completely different. Now you can hear motivationals, you have your own coaches and things like that. But prior to that, just put the headset, music, and that's it. But this is what happened. I was in corporate and they give me my package of clients. I need to do this. And the goal is that you make $1 million in refinancings in a month. So I decided to take my time to listen to this lady for them during the morning time. And after 1 o'clock, I start making calls, right? First, I have a lot of doctors on my file, and I have a lot of business people. So I says during the morning, I know their agenda has to be super packed. Let me just take advantage of that and let me just prepare myself and prepare my environment to do this. So I go in the morning, sit with a girl, so with a lady, listen everything, and the way that she introduced herself, the way that she talked, the way that she prepared the information, and how she introduced the need, because we were creating a need, and all of us that working in businesses, we're creating needs, but we cannot create a need if we don't know exactly what the people need. So I started listening to her, and I was going in my notebook. Oh, she made this question, and 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 this question, blah 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 blah. But I noticed that every time that she pick up the phone, her smile can be seen on the other side of the phone. She never called, hey, how are you? What are you doing? Oh, you know what? I have this, but I don't know if you're interested. Mm-mm. She knows every single one of her clients. She take the time. Of course, she has an assistant because she was the person that must produce those $1 million refinances monthly. She has an assistant. So the assistant make a little homework. Who is this person? What are they doing? What is their family composition? They have kids, grandkids, whatever. They have pets. And she started the conversation. Hey, Mr. Blah blah, how you doing today? This and da 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 from Dora Bank, and we're just asking you how you had been, how everything had been with your loan, how was the customer service. But first, they asked for the person family, how they were doing, how was the business. They make that connection. They open that channel. They don't go in right away. Hey, you know what? We have an amazing opportunity for you to refinance the loan that you're about to pay off. People doesn't want to get in loans again. They want to pay off, and they have already plans with that money that they don't have to pay monthly. How can you create a need to that people? You need to know a little bit more about them. You need to know everything about them. This is about them. This is not about you. Because what about if you're in that conversation, you can figure out, oh, you know what? My kid wants to go to the United States to study, and that college is super expensive. Point of my favor. They need to refinance because they need money for college. And I am with my notebook doing the research why I can create the need. They already have it. I just have to be listening, paying attention with the questions that I'm making. I'm going to get the information. They will tell me everything. They will give it to you even more information that you need. Sometimes you feel like you're gossiping with them. It's ridiculous. So I know already that their kids are going to college and it's expensive. How many kids are going to college? Just one or two? Oh, just one, but the next one graduation is next year. So I have two. Oh, you have two. There you have two. And then how is the business doing? Oh, we are increasing. This is super nice. The office is booming. I have an assistant. Now I have this and this. Oh, so now if I'm going to offering, they can pay. They have the money because they told me that they're growing as a business. So now the way that I'm going to present my product that is refinancing, get more money, get cash out for their own business is makes sense. They can maybe get a bigger office, or maybe they can decorate the actual one, or they just can have some money on the side to make it for marketing, promoting the office, and whatever they would like to do. Maybe they just want to change the furniture. Whatever they need, we can provide that opportunity now. But also now we can say, you know what? Now that I'm talking to you, um, this morning, the president just had a meeting with us that you guys that have been so many years with us could have the opportunity with a very low interest rate refinance your loans. And I think that your loan has like a, and I know how much they have. And I know how much we can go. I think we can go up to $500,000 with you. This is something that we're interested in you? Oh, really? Can we do that? Yes, of course. I telling you, it's a brand new information that I just get this morning. But what I did, I learned from this lady that she take the time to ask the correct questions, write it down, the information. And when everything comes, I can have the right problem solved. We do not sell. We don't sell. We are problem solvers. That's what I love businesses. Businesses is like a puzzle. Every single business is a puzzle. If you know the right piece, the piece of the puzzle that is going in the place, you're going to finish the puzzle. But this way is the same thing. You know what you can do. You can do the puzzle. You can solve the puzzle, and people will love you because you will be like their hero. First, remember always take time to listen. This is a dating process. You're having a relationship with this person. Main point, listen. It's super important to listen. Second, behave, be etiquette. Use your manners. Careful with your body language. The way that you speak, the way that you present yourself is a key for that. And you can change lives. You can make impressions with people just the way that you talk and you behave. How do you put everything together is create a rapport, help them to just be hypnotized from you. Things happen, opportunities are there every single day. You just have to take the time to be present when you are with your prospect or with your client. I love what I do. I love businesses. Sales is the final product, but the process of make this amazing relationship that is fast and can last forever is the main key. The main key. I challenge you to use this in your process. Take your time to listen. Take your time to ask the correct questions and please write it down. Pay attention. People love when you go back to your question and says, oh, you told me that you have two kids. One is going to be in college now and the other one blah. And you have your pet and that blah. When you're going and you read through a feed that information to them, when you replay back everything that they told you, they appreciate that you pay attention. They can give it to you so much information that your questions are not needed to be done. They will give it to you everything right there. And I'm very happy see you today. I'm very happy that this information can go through, that I can channel it with you. I can give it to you my experience. And these things are going to be every single day. I will try to be over here at least for half an hour or an hour. I don't know how long it's going to take to talk about this, but I love this. I'm very passionate about this. And I guarantee you, if you polish your skills, you are going to make gold in your stuff. I told you already, I made a record for $1 million in refinancing in a month. I sold $1.3 million in real estate in just one weekend in a community that it wasn't started yet. I also sold 32 units. It was 38. My partners or my sales consultants from another community, if the properties are ready to be sold, they can cross-selling sales. Okay, so they can come to my community and sell. So from 38, I sold 32 townhomes in Florida, in area, Apoca area, from March to August. I sold out the community in 6 months. I left my company with all those 32 units completely approved financing, just waiting for the developer. And that time it was Ken Hofnanian Homes building the last buildings to start closing those deals and deliver the properties. When I told you that I know what I can do with sales, is because I create a relationship. I know what the clients are looking for. And we're going to continue talking about sales. I love this, but the sales starts with you. You are the first thing that the client purchase. You are the main. That's why when you're going to companies or you're going to your interviews and you're doing an amazing interview, they already know that you're going to make so much money for them that when they do the interview, maybe in 3 months, or the reviews that they do, is when they start asking themselves why you're having making the goals that I was expecting, because maybe you are not ready to know everything else, because you is one part and the product is the second part. And then when you guys get together, the sales coming. You don't need to be worried about the sale. That is done. And I would like to tell you this: no matter what happened, if you ask the correct questions and you say the truth all the time, you don't need to exaggerate. You just need to say the truth and stay in your truth. No matter if the client goes out, they will come back and it says, I appreciate your honesty and I would like to do deals with you. My pleasure. That's what I'm here for. But take your time to know your product, know yourself. And if you need to do some changes, just do it. Start working on the mirror and start talking in the mirror. Start seeing how you move your hands. I move my hands all the time because that's the way I talk. And I play with my hair again because I'm watching myself on the TV. But I do that also when I'm talking with clients in front of them, and I take notes. And when we go over the whole thing, I can put myself to win the situation because I'm going to give there's a problem and I can give them the answer. I can give them the solve. How we can solve this. We can give that. It's a recipe. It's the recipe. The problem is the recipe. And the end is the whole product. And you need to know that. And we're going to continue working with this because this is super amazing. And I love and I'm very passionate about this. And like I said, I sold this 32 units. And something that happens to me once, that my manager called me and he says, hey, Rosalina, I noticed it that you are not giving the incentives. It says, no, if they do not ask for them, I don't need to give it to them. And for him was weird that I reacted that way. But if my product is good already, why do I have to give extra? First, in real estate, whatever you give as a benefit or incentive is going from Okay. Is the price $159,000? Whatever I give in incentive is going toward that total. It will be subtracted when they do the appraisal. Okay, so for 169.9, if I give them $30,000 in benefits, right, incentives, is from the price of the property that you're purchasing. So now your property is not 159.99, it's 139.999 or 129.999. It's 30,000 less in the value of your house because they give it to you the incentives. I don't need to give it to you incentives. The house is good. It's a townhome you can purchase. You ask me for a monthly payment that you can afford it. I give it to you. What else do you need? I don't need to drop the price. First, if I drop the price, this is a domino effect. I drop the price to you, and this is a information that I had to give it to you later. But now that we're talking about this, I'm gonna close with this. When I give it to you, this amazing discount, I'm hurting you. Why? Because now your house is less price, and now the community it get hurt. Whoever want to purchase later, now they know that the houses can go to 120 because I give it to you 30,000. This is a public records. Everybody else can go over there. So if a real estate agent that know what they do, they go into public records, they look for the last sales and they says, oh, no, I'm not going to purchase the house in 159.99. I want it in 129.99 because you give them $30,000 less. No, that's not my product. That's not the way that I sold. And you need to know you and you need to know your skills. That's why your skills are make you gold because you can control what you're selling at the end with the best profit, with the best energy, and the best of everything because you know what you're doing. So, recap. Thank you so much. My name is Rosalina Esquilin. I love to be here with you guys. I hope to see you tomorrow. I'm going to be here tomorrow again. I would like to continue talking about this amazing opportunity to how to create business and make goal with your skills. I think that we know what to do. The thing is that we don't know how to use it. And I would like to have more conversation with you guys. If you have any questions, please put it in the messages. Maybe we can give it to you any answers tomorrow. Thank you for being over here today. And remember, my name is Rosalina Esquilin, where the women can put their skills to go and be gold. We have everything. We are the CEOs. We are this entrepreneur. We are whoever we are in businesses. We can maximize this. We can change what we're doing if we know ourselves first and then everything else. So see you tomorrow. Thank you so much and many, many, many blessings. Take care. Bye-bye.